How does the Eva NYC 10-in-1 primer work under the microscope? Under the microscope is a series I do that tests if a product does what it says it's supposed to do under the microscope. And in the end, you can decide if the product's actually good and if it's worth your money. Now, the 10-in-1 primer does 10 things, with the first thing being heat protection for up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. And the main ingredients that are doing the heat protection are ethyl hexyl olivate, which is made from olive oil and it's used as a silicone alternative. Silicones in general are really good heat protectants because they have a low conductivity. And basically what that means is that whenever silicones coat your hair, they create this barrier to protect your hair. So that whenever you apply heat, barrier essentially makes it harder for heat to touch your hair directly. So the lower conductivity of an ingredient, the better heat protectant they're going to be. And ethyl hexyl olivate is supposed to work like a silicone without actually being a silicone. I personally really like silicones, but it's really up to you if you want to use silicones in your routine. And additionally, we have argan oil and sunflower seed oil as some of the main heat protectants. And to start off this experiment, we're using a hair sample of my hair. We took a look at the hair under the microscope. We found that the samples were pretty healthy. And what I mean by healthy is that the hair is really smooth and it has minimal to no damage on the outside of the hair. Then we grabbed the 10-in-1 primer, applied it to the sample, rubbed it in, and waited for the sample to dry. And if you look right here, there are two hair strands that are taped behind the slide. These two hair strands are going to be our control, which means that they aren't going to have any product on them, they're just going to have heat. And we did 10 swipes with the straightener, and these were the results. We can see that the first two hair strands, which were the control, did have some damage. And what we're looking for are these little pieces of the cuticle that are sticking out, because it indicates that some damage happened to the hair. And when we take a look at the hair strands below me with the Eva NYC primer, we do still see damage, but it's not as much as we saw in the control. Heat protectants are meant to protect your hair from heat, but not prevent heat from touching your hair, which is likely why we see more damage on the last hair strand. And the damage likely occurred because I may not have applied this as thoroughly to this hair strand, or the hair strand just got more direct heat from the straightener. And now that we have damaged hair, I wanted to test one more thing that the primer says it does, and that is its ability to smooth your hair. Will the Eva NYC heat protectant actually smooth your hair? And the answer is yes, it does. All of the hair samples were significantly smoother after applying the product and letting it dry. You see very minimal bumps and the hair looks very smooth and shiny. Let me know what products you want me to test next and if you'll be using the 10-in-1 primer from Eva NYC.